Hello and welcome to my studio. Today's topic of discussion is knowledgeable and articulate with no understanding. There are those who think they are very smart and knowledgeable. They are very well read and good at reciting what they have read. Their problem is, as Jimi Hendrix would say, have you ever been experienced? The internet is the largest library in the world, and everyone has the ability to quote anything they read with references. Does this actually make one smart? For example, Confucius had a quote, "I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand." There's a difference between understanding and knowing. In martial arts, one may read everything about a style, history, and techniques. They can even tell you the life history of its founder and go back generations. But when it comes down to defending themselves or even executing and performing techniques, they are still a beginner. Unfortunately, there are those who will never understand because they are masters of the talk and have learned to mesmerize others with their skill, degrees, and great knowledge. The same applies with many of the other professions I know. When people actually get into the work field and start working, their understanding soon changes. A perfect example of this is in the movie with Rodney Dangerfield called Back to School, where the business professor is teaching how to run a business when he has never ran a business himself. Some people only have book smarts, and others may only have life experience. Since they both may oppose one another, they tend to use politics to control those that are following them. To educate yourself, I would recommend learning both, and beware that you may become a threat to those who only understand one. Let me reiterate a little here. I have had a student argue the point that they fully understand a technique. They can explain the movement and physics, but they just can't get their body to do it. I explained to them that they cannot fully understand until they can do the technique. To experience something, you have to develop the balance, coordination, reflexes, timing, strength, etc. It's hard to explain some things to those who feel they know. The strange thing is, the student can explain and teach the movements to others who will practice and develop not only the technique, but also the ability to do the technique. My point is, there's a difference between knowing and understanding, and the results are found through experiencing. The only way you can overcome your limitations are by practicing. There are many who compensate their lack of understanding and ability with verbal diarrhea. Never give up. Nothing wrong with the reality you may not ever be the best. Everyone has certain limitations. The problems I find are with those who try to mask their limitations with a sideshow of fancy talk. The internet warriors. What's even worse is when they try to represent themselves as the foremost authority on the topic. This gives a whole new perspective to the quote, "Do as I say, not as I do." Sort of reminds me of the power of politicians. Beware of people who baffle you with BS. The moral to my little story is, don't be mesmerized by a smooth talker and storyteller. There are many who represent themselves as knowing with no understanding or experience. I've seen some people that have 150% confidence with maybe 20% experience, yet they present themselves as being the champion of the topic, and they can fool many people into following them. Beware, some people are good at talking the talk, but have never walked the walk. Well, that's it with my thoughts of the day. Please select like, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe and share. And if you haven't done so, click the little notification bell beside the subscription button. Thanks. Have a great day.